Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Star Wars Galaxy Let's Play series. Last time I started with demonstrating customization, and today we'll move on to the actual in-game interface. I thought about starting with combat, I thought a lot about it, I thought a lot about starting with a whole lot of stuff, and I got really lost really fast. So I brought a friend of mine in to play the game, and I realized very quickly that the first thing I need to touch on is interface, because without the interface, he was very confused. Very, very confused. So I'm going to start with the action bars up here near the top. Okay, so this is just like a command bar in any other MMORPG. First off, it starts with just a single line, and there's so many abilities that you'll probably end up with in this game. It doesn't matter what profession you go to, you'll end up with a lot of them. So what I'm going to do is show you first that it can be expanded, and that's really easy. You just hover right below where it says the numbers, just barely at the bottom, and you'll see it'll go to this like yellow thing here. This one will move, actually drag it around. The interface is actually pretty customizable in this game. You can move stuff wherever you want, but you change it to this and you click, hold down, and drag down, and you get a second toolbar. You can't get any more, but I don't think you'll really want any more. You'll just end up really confused in combat. It usually starts off with these four here, which is stand, kneeling, sitting, and prone. These are all postures that you can do in the game. It's different from most games. Like, you can type /sit, you'll sit, but these are just actual commands, just macro versions of it. But unlike other games, you have sitting and standing and really nothing in between. But in this game, there are combat stances to be in. There aren't really auras or anything like that, but they do apply a buff. One of them's kneeling. That's kneeling. In other games, you can kind of kneel, but in this game, it takes on a whole different meaning, because when you kneel and you get into combat, it applies a bonus to your accuracy, but it also applies a debuff to your defenses, because you're kneeling. You can't dodge, you can't move. You're kind of a little screwed when someone with a big old sword or a lightsaber comes up and starts chopping at you. So when you're down on your knee, you're taking a minus, but you're also gaining some aim. It's a good thing to do when no one really sees you. Standing, it's, no bonuses, no minuses. Your base. But there's also one more, and it's prone. So all you snipers out there, you're probably going to like this, because you can be on a hill shooting someone from way up top, and you are lining prone, which you can't really do in a lot of other games. This incorporates a lot of interesting play later in the game, as certain abilities affect what posture you're in, forcing you into one or the other, or affecting you if you're in one or the other. So it's something to be aware of. I got a little off topic there. I should go back to the interface. Anyway, so yeah, that's the posture stuff. Anyway, so that's the action bar. The action bar is really, you can drag them, move it wherever you want. You can put it bottom screen, top of the screen. You can shrink it, I believe. Yeah, you can shrink it and just make it really short. Or just get rid of the gaps. Okay, gaps is fine. I like the gaps in there because it separates the sections. I like attacks here, heals here, and this over here. So you got all the toolbars, and then you got the health. I'll get to that later. That's going to be something to touch on a little bit later. But let's switch to the chat system. Okay, so you got the general chat. It's all a bit different. It's not the same as other MMOs. MMOs, it's general chat, maybe a combat chat, and like a guild chat system. In this game, there's a little more. There's spatial, which is general chat, but it's also tells and all that. It's the basic stuff, computers talking and stuff like that. Combat, which it's a little hard to explain. It's an in-depth combat log that a lot of games don't have. It can be basic in the information it gives, like this person shot you and did this much damage, or you shot them and it did this much damage, but you can actually tell it to be way more in depth, to the point where it'll say stuff like, you were shot by this person with this ability. would have hit for this much, but because of your defenses here, it only hit for that much. Because of your armor, it only hit for this much less. And then it'll give you a total breakdown of what just happened. And it also works in the reverse of you attacking them. So then there's also planet. Planet is odd. There is events that can happen around the entire planet, and it usually goes out in spatial and planet, and it's usually like a computer event that just happens, kind of like the Warhammer online, the group quests that just kind of happen out in the world. That does occasionally happen, but it's nothing too fancy. Other than that, it's also a way to talk with everyone else on the planet in every single region at the same time. General chat only functions for the general area, not very far. It's like if you were to yell, it's that distance. It's a yelling distance is general chat. So if you're too far away, no one's going to actually see what you're saying. Also, another thing about general chat is when you say something, it's kind of like WoW, it puts a bubble, kind of like that, and it can be really big or really small. It just completely depends. And a cool thing in this game that isn't in most games is when you say something, the game recognizes what you said, and it'll do an emote for it. Like most games, you type hi and your character doesn't do anything, or you can type /wave and your character will wave. But in this game, they've combined the two, so you could say hi and your character will wave. And it really adds a cool dynamic to just talking with people in the game. You know, you could be talking to someone, having a good time, your character will actually wave on the beginning, and you could be telling a story and your character will actually get animated and moving around, or you could say something really mean, start cursing at them, and your character will do something quite similar to this, and being angry and crazy and hitting you in the face. There's all kinds of stuff like that, but that's just a cool thing in the chat system. So that's spatial. It's like a yelling distance, but your character will actually do stuff when he says it. Combat, through that. Planet. Quest is any conversation that takes place by an NPC, a non-player computer, to your character, or something that pertains to what you're doing. It doesn't happen that often, so it's not something to worry about. I usually delete that one right as I start playing. And the last one is instant messaging. A guy's been sending, it's the tell window, so it's only tells. Guy's been sending me tells for the past couple minutes. You know, I told him I was doing a Let's Play video, and he's all excited and wants to talk. I'm just going to show you that for a second. Don't look at it. I'm kidding. He's in every single one. Tells show up in combat, spatial, and instant messaging. In Planet and Quest, it shows your tells to people, but not their tells to you, because they assume when you're in these chat channels, you're concentrating on something else. Okay, so that's the chat system. You can actually modify it. You can add stuff. You can add just an entire chat window for guild, or combat and guild, or tells and guild, or everything you want in whatever chat channel you want. You can even edit the ones that are already there. It's really customizable. Like if I wanted to go to, say, instant messaging, and I can edit that, go to this, right click it, I can add another tab, which is basically one of these right here. Join a chat channel, like join someone else's chat channel or a new one, set the font size, or set it to default, clone it, delete it, or modify it. So if I go to modify an instant messaging, this helpful little help window pops up. I would keep it up. I'm going to turn it off for a second because it's throwing me off. So it'll come up with available channels and tab channels. Tab channels is what's in that channel, like what you'll see in that channel. Right now it's group messaging and instant messaging, the tells. I can add it to where it'll show guild chat. Click that and it goes right in. So now when I look at instant messaging channel, I'll see my guild chat also. There's also a system called matchmaking. In this game, it is not matchmaking like a ranked matchmaking. It is what you think it is. It's a romantic matchmaking system in this game. I don't think it's working in the emulator. I personally hope it isn't. Odd things have happened in the past, bad things have happened in the past when I play this game just because of that system. I'm never going to use it, ever. So, highly customizable there. Now, moving on. There's also the radar. Okay, the radar is it's the same and highly different in this game. It's you can do this with it, bring it up, down, bigger. You can move it anywhere you want. Handy like that. You can zoom in and out of the map in a way bigger distance than any other game. I say that because in other games like WoW, you click the magnifier like 4 times and it barely zooms in or it barely zooms out and you don't really get much. This one zooms in to 32 meters so you can really see what's around you. And in this game, it doesn't just show, stuff you're targeting or certain things. It shows just about everything that's in the world. It shows items. These white squares here, those are items. That blue triangle is a waypoint, which I'll get to later. It's a completely different system. Now it starts at 32 meters, zooms out to 1,024 meters. That's a good distance to cover. That's ridiculous. And in this game, you see just about everything in your mini-map. In other games, you can see kind of what enemy you're targeting, and that's it. In this game, you see everything. You see every NPC that is in the game. Non-attackable NPCs, attackable NPCs, aggressive or passive NPCs. Like if I move just a little bit, zoom in here, or zoom out, you can see a red little circle. That's an aggressive NPC that will attack you on sight. That's what red means in this game. But I can see it coming. Something that is not in any, like, there may be other MMOs, I may be mistaken, but it's not in any other MMO I've played. You can always see the one coming when you have it targeted and nothing else. It adds so much when you're out in the world and maybe you're flagged for PvP and you see this red dot coming at you and you know it's an enemy player and you see it coming miles out, and it's just so handy to take that time to prepare. It really reduces on the ganking, but only if you pay attention to your mini-map. It's kind of like having the UAV up in like Call of Duty or Battlefield 3. It's really cool. So that's that in the mini-map. But another system in this game is the difficulty system. Since there's no levels, I'm going to go outside real quick because I need to find something to exemplify this. There are no levels in this game. It's just kind of like a vague difficulty system based on what the NPC, the enemy, or the person has. And it doesn't show up on people because it doesn't want to let you know what they have. In this game, you can't just target someone and go, oh, he's a warlock or a rogue or he's a white mage. No, you can't tell that right off the bat. You can kind of give a best guess based on armor and what weapon they're holding if you can see it. But besides that, you can't. It's like a best guess system for that. So it really adds this cool element of if you're about to attack someone who's flagged for PvP in the open world, you really don't know what you're getting into. You really don't. And the only way you know what you're getting into is if you examine them. There's a system in this game that's examining, and it's kind of cool. It's not the best, most in-depth, but you don't see it too often. And I'll give you an example. This guy here, player. He's got a blue name. Light blue name means player. Light blue dot means it's a player. Player of neutral faction or the opposite faction is what a blue player means. So he's blue. He has LD in brackets above his head. It means he's linked dead. It means he's disconnected from the game or his computer crashed or something like that. But you can target him. Green means you're just hovering over them. Click it and it'll go blue, which means you have it targeted, so you can go away and their health bar will be right up here. And the health bar will actually tell you stuff, but I'll get to that later. So you can hit right, is it right click? No, you hold down left click and it'll bring up a radial menu of options. Or alternatively, you can hit the tilde key, and if you don't know what the tilde key is, that's alright. It's right under escape. It's right under escape in most keyboards, I'll say that. If you can see chat, I hope you can. Okay, I can't type it, God, whatever. Anyway, so you hit we'll just go with double click. So you click and hold down, bring up a menu. You can trade, duel, invite to group, or examine. When you examine, it'll bring up a little image of him and what they're doing, where they are. No real background, it's just giving you an example. And when you look at over here, it gives you all kinds of information. This doesn't provide a lot of information right now on him because he doesn't have anything. He's a new character. This will provide a lot. I just need a quick example. Let me go look around for a second. But what I'm trying to get is the examine system gives you examples of what they have. You can kind of guess what someone is by looking at what titles or what they've achieved. Like this person, Tinky. It says Master Chef under his name. That's a title. That means he has mastered the chef profession. Yeah, I know I said chef. I'll get to that later. So you examine him. You can see his title, which is what he has set, Master Chef. You can see what guild he's in. He has no guild. You can see his badges. Badges are kind of like an achievement system that tells you a little more about the person. His isn't too extensive, but it says that he's mastered the chef profession, which means that's his class. That's what I say he, but it's actually a chick. But that's what they did. That's what they've done up to now. Is they've mastered that profession, and they've seen an Imperial base on Talos, which means they've gone and seen the Imperial base on the planet Talos. It tells you what they've done up till now, and then they can write down little bios that everyone can see right here. A lot of people who like to roleplay, you can type out your whole backstory right here, and anyone can see it when they want to look. So that's the examine system on people. So if you're about to attack someone and you kind of want a better guess than what weapon they're holding as to what they are, examine them and you can see what they've mastered, what profession they are. And when I say mastered, it means they are as far as they can go in that class. They are the end of that class. They are level 90. They are level 60 or whatever MMO you play and what the level cap is, they are that in that class only. So it brings this whole new experience to the game, and when you come out here to enemies,